Gonna record a thing. Woo. Good day, internet people.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good evening.
You're like, you don't care.
Good afternoon and good night.
You just wanted to use the Vanguardian thing, didn't you?
I probably said it the wrong order, but hey ho.
Shout out to Vanguardian Fasden. Yes, hello. What?
Wasn't that the Truman Show?
Also that too. So anyway, onto the real point of this video. Genesis. Boo. You just don't
I've never played it
I
yet.
was going to say, you haven't even played against it yet. That should be more coming from Phil rather than you.
There you go.
There you go, he tried. So yes, as you saw there, starting Vanguard is Vivid Rabbit, which is your standard grade 3 searcher. Because we wanted to find the right grade 3. Which is gross and everyone seems to not like it.
I wonder why.
I know, it's terrible. Trigger lineup. We have Regalia triggers. There's your first clue. And we have Kukuri Hime, which goes into the soul and gives a unit plus 3k if you need to give something plus 3k and also need to get things into the soul. But only 8 crits because I don't like being that guy that runs 12 crits.
Cut!
Apart from yeah, cut. And it's also because I really like the draw trigger, which has the really hilariously good skill of when it's placed on the Guardian Circle, you may soul charge 1. And I've heard people say that this skill is not worth making the use of, so just run 12 crits. I choose to disagree with that. I think that's actually it's actually saved me in a game today where I had one soul not enough for the next turn. So actually, I think it's rather good.
Who were you playing against for that one? Was it Tao?
No. Must have been Mr. Turner, I believe. It gave me 3. It gave me a third card in the soul, then I got the other 3 into a card you will see in a minute. And of course, 4 heals because we ain't no fools. We ain't no silly people around here. Gotta play them heal triggers because of reasons. Grade 1s. There's 3 Regalia Quintet Walls and there's a Goddess Shield Aegis. Because I hadn't got a 4th Regalia one yet, basically.
No one's buying packs, are they?
No, well, I mean, I don't mind. I actually kind of quite like this one, so I'm quite happy to stick with it. It just means, it's just, you know...
What?
It's
You
just
don't
not,
run any perfect guards.
It's just not a Regalia, that's its only failing. And now for an extremely hated card. 2 Ordain Owl.
Boo!
Yeah, it's gross. I love it. So this thing, which is an activated skill, which is completely ridiculously overpowered, which is why I have to use it because I couldn't dare not, is choose a grade 3 card with Regalia in its card name from your drop zone, put it on the bottom of your deck. If you have a Genesis Vanguard, choose one of your grade 3 units with Regalia in its card name and give it plus 5k, which on 2 occasions today I used to give a rearguard grade 3 plus 20, much to the disgust of my opponent at the time.
Who was that?
Well, one was you, wasn't it?
Yes.
And the other one I think was Mr. Turner again. I wasn't very nice to Mr. Turner today, apparently. To be fair, I wasn't very nice to Mr. Phil, but there we go. Next we have 4 Exorcism Regalia Shiny Angel. Speaking of the things that put 3 units into the soul, here is one. When this unit is placed on the rearguard, choose up to 3 cards with Regalia in its card name from your drop zone and put them into your soul. Because, well, it's good for recycling certain cards that are extremely useful in the soul. Quite frankly. Now, I didn't realise when I played the deck today that I had it set like this, and I don't actually think I will have it set like this from now on. 4 Apple Witch Cider. When this unit is placed on the Guardian Circle from your hand, choose your Vanguard with Regalia in its card name, and until the end of that battle, that unit gets when your the auto ability of when your Genesis Guardian is put into the drop zone, put that card into your soul. Is very good. There is the important distinction there of when it is placed on the Guardian Circle from your hand, which means that if you get it from a Quintet Wall Superior Calling of Guardians, it won't work. But the draw trigger will, because it doesn't specify when it's placed on the Guardian Circle, it's just when it's placed on the Guardian Circle. You may soul charge 1. So what I was considering of doing instead is perhaps going like that, and instead running perhaps a couple of those. Because if you put an owl on a back corner rearguard, then you can still hit 16 and make numbers. So 10k attackers, possibly a thing I'll switch in instead. Perhaps for attacking consistency's sake. Moving on to the grade 2s. Everyone hates this card. It's Regalia of Fate Norn. Boom! And we run 4 of her.
I apologise for my squeaks.
Yeah, you will be sorry. So this card, when this card is put into the drop zone from your soul, choose one of your vanguards with Regalia in its card name and give it plus 5k. I'm very, very, very good at managing to get all 3 of them spare going into the drop zone from the soul and being like, haha, plus 15. Haha.
Really?
In fact, in one game, I managed to soul blast 3 Norns and use an owl to give a rearguard plus 20. So I threw around plus 35k in one turn. So it's quite gross. Quite gross indeed.
So we're talking over your video.
Yes, you are. It's bleeding rude.
Sorry.
I will kill you.
I'll talk to you in a second.
Yeah, can it wait?
No.
Next, for more ways to put things into the soul from the drop zone, here's Midday Regalia Chimera, and there are 4 of them. So again, it's the same as the grade 1. When it's placed on a rearguard, choose up to 3 cards with Regalia in its card name from your drop zone, put them into your soul. Really good with this. Right, let's get rid of the glare. And the card you're about to see in a second. Of which I only run 2, but apparently that seems to be enough to be gross. So, 2 Twilight Regalia Hesperus. When this is soul blasted, your vanguard gets the ability of when this unit's attack hits a vanguard, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it until the end of turn.
That's the promo, isn't it?
That's the promo from was it Sneak Peek? Yeah.
The Genesis
I've got 2
Sneak Peek, wasn't it?
Yes. That's the one. And of course this stacks, so if you happen to soul blast it and then find a way of getting it back into the soul and doing soul blasting again, then yeah, multiple retirements can happen. It's lovely. I have. Who did I do with it? Oh yeah, I think I did a break ride. I did a break ride. Soul blasted 1. Drew 2 cards. Used a Chimera. Put two back into the soul. Then soul blasted it again later. So I ended up retiring an entire person's. He had 3 rearguards, and by the time I was finished, he didn't anymore. It was funny. My last grade 2 is actually a random tech choice because when it comes up it's quite useful, which is best flavour text ever. Oh, do you want to be proud like the fields? Yes, it's Regalia of Fertility, Freya. Counterblast 1 when your Vanguard Legions, you may pay the cost. If you do so, charge 3 and this unit gets plus 5k until the end of the turn.
English grammar joke.
English grammar joke. Thank you. So yes, plenty of ways to soul charge and throw power around in this deck. It is nuts, and it's just...
Thanks, neighbours.
I apologise for our neighbours. They don't understand how to close doors quietly.
That was real. That's actually a real big slam. That
was very big for them. And understandably, a child's crying. So what's new? Yeah, we have great neighbours. We love them muchly.
We have very good friends.
It's alright. I think they're upset because they've just seen what card I'm about to put down next. It's Yggdrasil!
Boo! Hang on, there's 4 copies, hang on. Boo! 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 Boo!
Cosmic Regalia CEO Yggdrasil, who is totally gross. So she obviously legions with old little Miss Norn here. Like so. And what happens is, gross things. Besides swinging for 20,000, well, actually, when it attacks a Vanguard, if you have another unit in the centre column, it gets plus 3, so it's always at least 23.
Excuse me, that's the Legion. Shoot!
And that's even if you have like a booster behind it and not legioned, it still gets plus 3. So,
shoot!
Yes. But it's this bit here that's totally gross. It's utterly hilarious for me, but not for everyone else. Soul Blast 6. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if this unit is legioned, you may pay the cost. If you do, until the end of that battle, this unit gets critical plus 1, and your opponent cannot call grade 1 or greater cards from the hand to the Guardian Circle. Yes, you may have a perf in your hand, but I'm sorry, it's just not going to work. Ha 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 ha.
Well, I laughed,
so,
but I cried nearly.
You see, it's so that quintets don't work either with it.
Quintet Wall will not work because you can't play it down. Perfect Guard will not work because you can't play it down.
So basically, top tip when playing against the Yggdrasil player, stockpile your grade 0s.
Stockpile your grade 0s and perfect guard everything else. See,
it's so intuitive to Legion because a lot of people want to drop their grade 0s early.
Yeah.
To put them back in the deck.
So it can be very, very easy to kind of Soul Blast, say, those and be like, yeah, plus 15 to the Vanguard and a retire skill.
You're a word, you are.
That's what the deck does, and it can do it extremely well. It didn't do it in
Especially when a certain person uses it.
Hi. Some people do like to consider the possibility of running Midnight Regalia Nyx as their alternative grade 3, and having tried it, it's terrible. In my opinion, I'm sure if you could, because the thing is, you're never short of hand, so you can pretty much never use Nyx's skill. So it just doesn't work for me. So I haven't used that. So instead I've gone this route, which is equally gross. Break Ride and Minerva. So we can do a cross ride. Because we've got the when the break ride, so plus 10k, soul blast 3, and draw 2 cards. And of course there's the soul charging and plus 1k when it attacks on its own. Which of course does a very good job of setting up her, who gets plus 2k permanently if you have Angelica in the soul. And of course restands. And the fact that you can restand perhaps soul blast, say a couple of Norns and a Hesperus, and then give it a total of plus 15 and retire skill is also helpful. Yeah, so this one's Limit Break 4, Cannibals 1, Soul Blast 3, choose 3 Genesis from your hand and discard it. I'm sure we've all heard this one before. At the end of the battle, this unit attacks you may pay the cost. If you do stand this unit, give it plus 5k, and it can't be used for the rest of that turn. Ideally, I want to hit this last. Because there's nothing worse than...
After fighting Yggdrasil and successfully defending it. Oh look, Minerva's just turned up. Ah!
Exactly. That's what I like to happen. It doesn't quite work that way though. It didn't work that way today, but whatever. I kind of in the first round got stuck on having to... I know, it was like only my 4th turn. I had to break right straight away, and the guy I was facing was on 1 damage because my hand was bad. Needless to say, I didn't win.
Was that...
Tau.
Yeah, Nouvelle.
Admittedly, that was a Draconic Overlord Rebirth and Nouvelle Vague deck, so yeah.
Which I beat.
You beat it by triggering like a Schleeg.
Hey, in my defense, he quadruple triggered with Rebirth. I just double critted in the next turn.
So it's fine then?
It's fine. It's karma.
That makes it okay, doesn't it?
It's karma.
Yes. It's okay.
Yes, this deck has lots and lots of totally gross combos that work very well. Even if you have, like, even if there is no soul...
what's the time?
If there is no soul, if you have a combination of either of, say, those two around in your hand, you just play them down. Not only have you got a column, you've also got 6 soul again for Yggdrasil, so you can be like, haha, crit! And no guarding with specific cards. So, yeah. It's far too many cards I would consider, like, MVPs. Everything just is very important.
And considering we haven't heard anything about Genesis Stride.
Yet, at the time of filming.
Yet.
Give it time. They'll think of something. We dread to think, don't we?
As if there's a Genesis main character.
No, I think it's only fair that every clan gets something. Think of the new Batama players. Think of the new Batama players.
Just because you're one of them.
Barely. Anyway, so that is my Genesis deck of utter grossness. Admittedly, I would have liked to have tried it out a bit more than I'd like, but yeah. So far, everyone hates it, so that can only be a good thing.
Your deck demonstration video coming soon.
I'm sure we can find some room in the schedule for that. Let us know in the comments if you think we should do such a thing.
Yes.
And in the meantime, let me know your thoughts of the deck in the comment section below as well. And until the next video, thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Good night, people.
Goodbye.
Morning.
Hello.
Good night. Farewell.